Albania has been waiting quite a long time to join the EU. 2022 was quite tense. Prime Minister Edi Rama did not mince his words in the summer in Brussels when the opening of the accession was delayed once again. Now it's open, but we haven't actually started progressing through the chapters. Do you think this delay is due to failures domestically? Is it due to the EU perhaps dragging its feet a little bit? And do you think this maybe idea that member states must tick all the boxes before they can join is fair? Or it should be a more gradual process?
This is a bit of a tricky question to ask a diplomat. But definitely Albania had to wait a long time. But I think things started changing when Albania took the courageous step of adopting, as I said, a revolutionary reform of its judiciary, which was probably one of the main conditions for moving forward in this direction. We now are at a stage where all the elements for starting the negotiations are being finalized. What is encouraging is that Prime Minister Rama, Chief Negotiator Duka, said very clearly that they don't even want to wait for the official start of the negotiations to start engaging and start already exploring the reforms that can be adopted. So I'm confident that we can maintain the momentum. In addition, the Reform and Growth Plan and the growth facility that's been adopted by Brussels very recently foresee the allocation of a very, very substantive amount of money for Albania, but it's conditional. It's conditional upon very concrete steps, which are, of course, relevant for Albania's accession. So there again, we have incentives for Albania to carry out the reforms, regardless of the exact opening of the negotiations on the different chapters. So it's important that we maintain this momentum, and I'm hopeful that the last hurdles to the formal opening will be removed very, very, very soon.
Do you think Charles Michel's statement about 2030 being the next round of enlargement, do you think it's realistic?
I think it's very useful because I think one needs to have an objective. One needs to have a target. And that applies for both sides, not just for the candidate countries, but also for the EU. We need to factor that in. Recently, a think tanker here in Albania was talking about, the fact that having 2030 as an objective will also inform the discussions in Brussels on the next multi-annual financial framework. This 7-year plan that we have for the budget of the European Union. And that's, a very, very appropriate comment, I think. So, and on the other side is giving Albania also a target. And that seems to be taken very seriously by the government. So I hope that it will inform all its choices, I think, regardless of the electoral period.
I hope that it does happen by then, because the risk is if it doesn't, people who may not understand the complexities of it being just a phrase, it wasn't set in stone, they might feel disheartened or disillusioned with the...
Yeah, but there's one important change now is that Brussels has also understood that the Big Bang doesn't make sense. When I say Big Bang means that you wait until all the formalities, let's say, all the accession treaties are ratified, blah, 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 and then finally you're a member of the European Union and suddenly you have 100%. Now the idea is to have a gradual approach. So you start benefiting from some of the advantages of being member state of the European Union before you become member. And that's also the logic of the Reform and Growth Plan.